Hey guys, welcome to another Saudi Arabia coronavirus update. It is May 12th, it's almost 6 p.m. and I'm going to do this update from inside today. I don't feel like going out on the roof today. So there's not a lot of news today either, just a few stories, and then should be one of the shortest episodes ever. So we'll start with the new cases in Saudi Arabia. So for the first time ever, Saudi Arabia has more recoveries than they do in new infections. So we have 1,911 new cases, 443 in Riyadh, 407 in Mecca, 306 in Jeddah, 176 in Medina, 91 in Hafuf, 4 in Khamis Mushait, where I am, and a bunch of other cities as well. And we have 2,520 recoveries. That's great news. So we have 609 more recovered today than yesterday. Or that is to say, if you subtract the new cases from the new recoveries, that's a gain of 609 healthy people, we'll say. And the world saw an increase of about 75,000. We have a world total now of just under 4,200,000. And about a third of those total cases are in America, my home country. So it looks like things are continuing to get worse and will continue to get worse in America and in much of the rest of the world. But Saudi Arabia is doing comparatively well today. I only have really one story to talk about, and then a question that somebody asked. So we just talked about oil, basically, price of oil, and a few things that Saudi Arabia has done regarding this. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. No, I think it's gone away. Saudi announced that they're cutting their oil production next month in June by 1 million barrels a day. And Kuwait and I think the Emirates are also cutting, their oil supply. Saudi oil revenue, it's way down this year. They say Brent crude is down more than 50% from the beginning of the year. It's trading at less than $30. So, it's higher than it was when it went negative briefly. But what else does this news story say? Beep, 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 beep. Second quarter is going to see the full effects of the oil crisis. And Saudi Aramco reported a 25% fall in net income in the first quarter. They posted that today. So 25% is huge. It's huge for any business, but especially it's huge because the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia relies very, very strongly on oil prices and oil revenues. And depending on how long this oil crisis goes on, magnified by COVID-19, we could see a serious economic collapse in Saudi Arabia, which would be very bad. So anyway, that's just something to keep an eye on. It says like their income in a release published on Tuesday, Saudi Aramco said its net income slid to 62.5 billion riyals. That's about 16.6 billion US dollars, down from 83.3 billion riyals. So revenue's down about 25%. And for an American, 16.6 billion US dollars might not sound like a lot of money. Of course, on an individual level it does, but when we're talking about governments, American national debt has gone up a few $1 trillion since the beginning of the year due to bailouts and lending from the Fed and various other financial measures that I'm not fully understanding of, and I'm sure you're probably not either if you're watching this video and not a professional market analyst. But it's a big deal for a smaller country, a country with a smaller GDP, even though Saudi is in the top 20 countries in the world. So enough about the oil price. I just got one viewer question, and I'll answer that and let you go. The question was basically, is there going to be a retaliation against China from this, based on various geopolitical moves and maneuvers, and President Trump claiming that they're going to get some kind of reparations from China for this. Nobody knows what that's going to look like. He doesn't even know what he means when he says that. Is there going to be reparations for China from China for COVID-19? No, and no is the answer. It's kind of a ridiculous idea. We can't be holding. There's just no mechanism for getting any kind of judgment or settlement out of China, and they would never agree to it. So that's all that I have to say about that. Suffice to say that there are downstream effects that will hurt China and many other countries around the world, pretty much all of them, because people have less money, and the world is so globalized and interconnected. Obviously, when people in America or Canada or Africa or Europe, wherever, when they don't have money to buy things, and shipping goes down, and a lot of things are made in China, and we're going to see some serious economic consequences for them, even though they appear to have mostly conquered COVID-19 for now. I think the second wave is coming. It's already come back in Wuhan, I think. You can't really trust the figures in China. You pretty much can't trust the Chinese government when it comes to anything. I lived there for about a year and a half, and glad to be out, we'll say that. But this is still, we're still in the first act of this virus. And I read that Boris Johnson, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, said that a vaccine might never come. And if that's the case, the world is not going to shut down forever. We're going to have to come to some hard conclusions and some settlements about the nature of life and the economy and what we can do to stay safe. And we will reopen, although the world will look different in a lot of ways. So just buy your masks, stay home, get lots of sleep, eat well. Don't go outside if you don't have to. That's all I have for this episode. If you have any comments that you want me to answer, you know what to do. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to answer them in the next video or in the comments for this video. There are not going to be many more coronavirus episodes left. I should be leaving the kingdom hopefully within a week. I emailed the American consulate in Jeddah back on May 3rd, 9 days ago, and then I emailed them in Riyadh 7 days ago. Never got a response from either branch. So I guess they're either really swamped or they're not responding to my emails for some reason. So I'm really looking forward to getting an evacuation flight, when one is posted. There's only one more that's been announced. It leaves from Riyadh on May 14th. I can't make it there. And my contract still has me for 2 more days. So on Thursday, I'll be free and hopefully ready to get a flight out of here. So thanks for watching, everyone. Like, subscribe, and everything else.